Welcome back. You're listening to the award-winning Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasAllNetRadio.com. We are very excited tonight to have a repeat guest in the house. If y'all remember Diamond Dee, here's Diamond Dee's book. About a year and a half ago, I was in an office and I met Dee, and we were talking about transgender, and all of you that know me know that I've got an interest there. And I looked at her and I said, oh, so your whole life you wanted to be a woman? And she says, oh, hell no, I never wanted to be a woman. I'm like, oh, this is a story. So when our friend was here a year and a half ago, she left things a little vague because she wanted us to wait. We were waiting for the book to come out. But the secret is now I've read the book.
Yes.
So I know what's going on, and I've got some great questions
in the
book. So, but you've had an interesting year and a half since we sent you left, and you came back. Now you're getting ready to leave again, and now you're a real transgender. And fill us in a little bit on what's been happening the last year and a half.
It's been pretty exciting. Where do I start? I mean, my whole life is crazy. It's the tattooed lady used to be a guy and still is a guy, and blah blah blah. And I'll tell you, I wake up every morning. I don't even sometimes know who I am. I go back and forth so much. It's like a crap game. But mostly I try to be the girl, and
So even to this day, you're still fighting with it.
Yeah. I'll be doing this the rest of my life because I wasn't like most of the transgender people,
right.
Because I was just a guy, and I got led into doing all this. I was cross-dressing, and I looked pretty good, and one thing led to another, and then very compulsive person, as you can see, all the tattoos and everything, and once I get started on something, I can't stop. So, yeah.
Well, let's refresh from our last interview. So when we met you and interviewed last time, we discovered that you didn't decide to have the operation to become a woman because you've always wanted to be a woman, was because you had a sexual addiction.
Right.
And you were trying to maybe cure that.
Well, I wasn't really trying to cure it. That's why it's so bizarre. It's not even funny. I mean, I was a sex addict for 40-some years, and I went into this sex store, and as I, frequented quite often, and I was looking for something different. I was tired of the girl on girl, guy, blah blah blah, and so I saw this book. It said magazine. It said Transformation, and I got it, and it was half and half. It was on the top half is a woman, the bottom half is still the guy, and it got me turned on. I was excited. I says, "Oh, I got something new,
new toy,
to fuel the fire."
Well, so wait a minute. The sexual addiction took you to this point,
right?
So, oh my goodness, I never even realized that.
Well, and my question was, in the book, you get to a point where you try on women's clothing.
Yes.
And then you're like, "Oh, I kind of like this," but my question is, if you had not tried on the woman's clothing, did that somehow trigger like, okay, well, maybe I need to become a woman? Did that trigger that, or was that thought in your head prior to that?
Actually, when I got to the magazine, I was going through it and everything, pleasuring myself and loving it, and then I got to the back of the deal, and it said transformations at so and so a glamour boutique, and I called them up and made the appointment, because I wanted to be transformed to see what it was all about.
And the glamour boutique was a place where men who want to dress like women go and get like
they make you
makeover.
up. They do a full makeover, and that's when they put you in the clothes and the whole 9 yards. And I actually thought I was going to go there and have sex. I did. My whole life was sex. I woke up in the morning, and I asked my penis what it wanted, and I programmed the whole day around that.
Yeah.
And I was sick. I was sicker than sick. I was so horrible that I couldn't even tell half of the stuff that I ever did. And the book is it tells quite a bit, but nothing.
I told Dee on the way over I wanted her to write another book. I want an X-rated version, and then the family version. I want the nitty-gritty, okay?
It's pretty bad.
I'll tell you what
I needed to be stopped.
But what was really wild, we were driving over, and she says to me, when I started this whole thing, I was not transgender. I was not in the wrong, a man and a woman in a man's body. But now, after this, she says, I'm truly transgender because she's a man in a woman's body, truly.
Right.
And fights that battle in her
I fight
brain.
it every day because I tell everybody, I said, look, I didn't want to be the woman. I wanted to be on top of the woman.
Right.
And,
You can still be on top of the woman. You just have to buy a new penis
well,
now.
that's right.
Well, it's hard to put it back, I think.
No.
A strap on.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, while we were eating, I said, yeah, they don't grow those in rats in the lab, so you're not going to get that back.
Oh.
But, as reading the book, we've talked before about Dee's tattoos. And we laughed last time because you said that you had a smiley face on the top of your penis.
Right.
That now is somewhere inverted inside.
Right.
And
So now is it a frowny face inside your vagina? Is that-
Probably.
we want to take a lighted probe and look and see where all the tattoos are.
Well, they make a dildo with a camera on the end of it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We want to look.
Yeah.
But in the
Curious.
book,
We are
she
some
talks about
pinky
how
fuckers.
a lot of the tattoos that she had in the genital area was almost like like I want to hurt it. I want to, you know what I mean, like to like hurt the member.
Oh yeah, I pierced
to
it.
deface it. Yeah.
It was like it was. It controlled my whole life to bad. Most people have sex and they enjoy it and everything is good and they can go on with their life, but not me. It was all really crazy.
Any hole you could put it in, you would?
No, not that type. It was just I was very cautious on how I did things, because I didn't want to get the diseases and everything. But a lot of it was just a lot of masturbation and hookers and stuff like that.
So,
sex clubs, but I didn't really, participate in them.
Just
I
go
watched. Yeah.
So I want to ask a little bit about the escalation of your sexual addiction that brought you to this point. So
Right.
in between that time, you were just looking for different things because you would, let's say you did girl on girl and then you got bored of it, so you had to move
Right.
on to something else and move
Right,
on to
right,
something
right.
else.
To fuel the fire, sure.
Right. So I mean, this is very extreme to change your gender completely.
Oh yeah.
So give us some stuff that maybe wasn't as extreme, but would be extreme to like normal people. To us, it's not that extreme, but
Oh, to changing the gender?
well,
The sexual addiction.
the sexual addictions, like,
Well,
did you ever go like off the
Oh.
main path at all?
lots of times. I used to when I come back from Arizona, I would actually pull off on a side road and get out of the car and lay on the road and masturbate to the stars.
Wow.
And it was like, oh, this is the coolest thing I think I've ever done.
Do you have a lot of chafing going on?
Chafing?
Yeah.
Road rash?
Jesus Christ, you practically pulled it off, it sounds like.
Oh, I did. And drive in the car and nude and just do all kinds of stuff that would have locked me up for forever if I would ever got caught. And
Wow.
I mean, I literally had to be stopped. And if this is what stopped it, it was well worth it, But I was bad,
Another thing that really intrigued me in the book was how you have phantom erections. Like people who have an
did.
amputation, people who
Yeah.
have had an amputation, they have
Sure.
phantom pain, like their limb is still there. And you were talking about phantom erections.
I
But
did.
my question, I wonder, and you have
Yeah.
a lot of friends who are transgender, true
Sure.
transgender.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And okay, does somebody who really wants to be a woman all their life,
Uh-huh.
do they still have phantom erections? Like to them, their member was like evil. So do they still have that, or is that something you have because
Well,
you
the reason-
really are a man still?
Well, no,
here?
the reason I have it is because it was when it was cut off, it was the nerve endings, I guess, were still attached, and you would think it was still going on, but then I had no kind of feeling, no kind of anything,
Right.
no kind of pleasure.
So your sexual drive is just
it was
zero
zero.
now.
But you see, it was a blessing in disguise because it took a sex addict for 40-some years and took everything away. It's like a drunk can't go back into the bar and get drunk anymore. I mean, I can't have nothing,
Right, and you've tried to have an orgasm.
Oh, I've
and
tried
things.
vibrators. I had sex once and tried it out, and it was nothing I was interested in. It was kind of funny too.
Was it with a man or a woman?
It was with a man.
Okay.
And after he had the climax and everything, the stuff was running down my leg, and I'm running to the bathroom, and I go, "Oh, this is what I always did to the women." I was a womanizer. I was horrible. But now the shoe's on the other foot, and I actually see what it's all about.
Right.
So it's yeah.
I know that my sexual experiences are enhanced by the feelings that I have for somebody. So have you fallen in love at all? And maybe does that help at all? Or
Have I fallen in love?
since you've had the change?
No.
No, you haven't met anybody?
I'm
sure you've been propositioned a million times.
A little bit, a few times.
Because men are kinky.
Oh yeah.
Men are dirty fucking bastards.
Wait, and our friend
We
Dee
got-
knows Mike from the Power Exchange.
Yes.
I might add.
Well, you got to remember, I used to be one of them.
Yes.
You know, and in my mind, I still have the male brain, even though I'm in a female body. The brain never changed. I'm still a guy, and you know, I don't know.
But
It's
talk a-
crazy.
Talk a little bit about how the real transgender community
Right.
thinks you're a fake and a
Well,
fraud, and you took advantage
they do,
of it.
because they try to say, oh, you got out of for sex addiction and blah, blah, that's all a bunch of crap and this and that. And I says, how do you even know? I says, should they say you always be a sex addict and this and that? I said, no, I won't. I says, after the operation, within 6 months, everything was gone. It was all taken away from me. And to this day, I remain asexual. And I can walk around going, sex? What's that? I don't care about it, you know? So it was taken away from me, and it's probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Because, I mean, I wasn't a pedophile, I wasn't about kids,
right?
I was about hookers and free sex. That's
Right.
all I ever wanted, you know? And if it wasn't free,
Was there like an attitude of you didn't care about the people that you were having sex with? You
right.
just
They
wanted
were
the sex.
they were nameless
So they were
faces.
throwaway.
And almost the whole time she was married. She married 5 times and 5
Wow.
husbands.
Right.
5
Right.
wives.
5 wives.
Five
Yeah,
wives,
5 wives.
yeah. And I cheated on all of them except like 4 and 5. 4 was the best marriage I had out of all of them. That lasted 10 years, and then it got to be like we were roommates. But number 5 was 41 days, 3 hours, 12 seconds. So that was
You know what? Let me ask about marriage number 4. Was this when you were starting to experiment with the whole transgender thing and see what kind of
No, I didn't start the transgender thing until I was 50. And that was
after you were married?
after all the marriages were
marriages.
done.
Oh.
Yeah, no, this transgender thing popped up when I was 50, and
Well, but the sexual addiction had been going on for a
that's
lot
been going
longer.
on ever since I was like 12 years old.
Was she able to like keep up? The number 4? I mean,
Pretty much.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
drop
oh,
drawers
yeah.
anytime you wanted.
Oh yeah, 3-4 times a day. Oh yeah.
And that's
yeah.
why you
Times
didn't
a
cheat on
day.
her, because she was always available.
Right,
At any
right.
time and anywhere.
Pretty
and-
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But number 5 wouldn't do that, and that's why it only lasted.
Oh no, number 5 would do it, but she was a nut, you know.
So there was other reasons.
She belongs on the vagina monologue.
I know her.
She went to jail for not signing a speeding ticket, and I said, "What?" I says, "This is crazy." So I had the divorce papers ready when she got out of jail.
She young, dark-haired girl who couldn't really find out who the hell she was.
You know somebody you know, right?
Oh shit! I think I dated her too.
You know her.
Crazy bitch.
Oh yeah. My life has been wow.
Well, just in the year and a half, like, you've lived as a man, lived as a woman, lived as a man, lived as a woman. She's
Right.
gone back
Well,
and forth.
I kind of now I'm to the point where I pretty much gave up. I do see a psychiatrist, and the sessions help me, and I can't go back to being the guy even if I put the guy clothes on, because I'll have to sit down the rest of my life to pee, and I can't run around with my shirt off. And a couple of things that I used to really like to do as a guy, but you know, if you put the clothes on, you're still going to be a female with guy clothes. So then I'd be a cross-dresser. So
That's the other way.
the other way again, yeah. So it's all mental, and it really
It's got to be
messes you up.
confusing to be you, Dee.
It is.
Would you like to
It's a
meet someone?
challenge.
Would you like to meet someone that you
Oh, I
can-
would love to.
Okay, but
And-
here's my question though.
Yeah.
So you are in the woman's body, but you said you're still a guy in the head. So
Right.
what gender do you
Well,
look at?
women, of course.
Okay.
That
I'm
would
just-
make me a lesbian. I actually had this tattoo
So now,
here.
oh wow. So now you're
It says now 100% love, but it used to say 100% lesbian. And I crossed off the lesbian and put love, so, you know. But no, I've loved women all my life, and if I ever had another relationship, it would have to be with a woman.
Right.
I'm not gay, so. But
But you are.
actually, I am.
wow.
That's what's so trippy about this whole thing.
So what you
You
need
know.
to find is you
Doesn't
need
the sexual addiction makes you have to play both sides of the fence, doesn't it? I mean, I would think because you're looking for things to turn you on and looking for more different things to turn you on.
Back in the
so-
day.
Yeah.
The
But
addiction's
you gotta-
gone now.
You got to
Yeah.
remember the addiction's gone. So
Right.
if I
Wait,
if
wait.
I
This is
So what-
funny.
what was-
Addiction is gone.
yes.
The
dick.
dick.
yeah the dick is gone.
sorry,
And-
sorry. I'm sorry.
And whenever I hear the word ridiculous, I stand up and say, yes, I'm dickless.
But you can only be dickless once, so
That's
ridiculous
right.
is just not
They
okay.
they can't put it back. And if there's a lot of people out there listening now thinking about getting this operation, really make sure you want it because they don't put it back.
Now, I remember when you were here last time, you talked about fooling the because you had to take psychological tests before they let you have the operation.
Yes.
The letters
yeah.
are in this.
And
The letters are in the
you
Yeah.
made it your mission to fool the psychiatrist so
Oh.
you could get the
Oh, yeah.
you could get the surgery.
I pulled it off. I
Yeah.
went in there and
Well, yes.
I put a bunch of makeup, the wig, and the dresses, and said, oh yeah, I always thought I was this way for all my life. But you have to know what to say going in, you know,
Right.
because if you say the wrong things, they're not going to give you the letters,
Right.
you know. And then plus I had cash, you know, that was
That
nice
helps.
too. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Here's how much will it be? Okay, here you go, you know. And 3 months later, after the psychotherapist, the psychiatrist, and going to see the surgeons, when 3 months I had the operation. You know.
And that's
Wow.
another reason
That's
why
pretty
your
quick.
compadres in the transgender community,
Right.
some of them kind of turn their back on you
Oh,
because
yeah. Oh,
they
yeah.
can't afford the surgery and you
Right.
could afford it and maybe didn't want it as bad as them. And
Exactly.
yeah, so
Exactly.
yeah, so Dee's been kind of ostracized in her own community because she's
Yeah.
been able to have it.
Right.
That's a big
Yeah.
thing.
But most of them, I think when it comes right down to it, a lot of them will say, oh, yeah, pre-op. When it comes right down to it, I don't think they'll do it, you know, because they have too much fun with their penis. And I know several of them, they love it, you know, and they won't get rid of it.
Right.
But they dress up, they do all this stuff. They don't want the operation, but they want to be women, you know. And
Now,
I
when
couldn't
they
figure
start-
that out.
It's all a frame of mind. I mean,
Yeah,
you can have
yeah.
a penis and be a woman.
Right.
This is, as a matter of fact,
Right.
they had a whole episode about this on Glee, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's a very
Where society learns its lessons about life.
right.
Right.
Glee.
No.
You're goddamn right. If you watched last week's episode, you cried, motherfucker.
I did.
I wept. So all these people, they're against you because they think you did it for all the wrong reasons. But in reality, you did it to solve a problem, and it
Yeah.
solved that problem.
Right.
And
Right.
so you must have done it for the right reason. Now, of course, you had to lie to get it done.
Yeah.
But isn't that the way it works in this society? When
Pretty
you need
much.
something and
Yeah.
you can't get it, you got to lie to get it.
You
Well,
gotta- right.
Well,
right.
have you been actively trying to join the transgender community,
Oh, no,
or
no,
do you
no,
need
I-
the recognition?
Not at all. No.
Yeah. So
No,
who
you
cares?
see, I'm the type of person who'll be friends with anybody,
Right.
you know, because I show the love and I love them all. I'm not a racist. I'm not a bigot. I'm none of that stuff. I love everybody, and I just wish the whole world could love everybody and they'd all get along.
And thank goodness
know?
it wasn't years ago. He tried to fuck you, or he would try to fuck you too.
She'd have been
Right?
okay with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But that's true when Dee talks about how, you know, she's very open and talks to anybody. I mean, that's how we met,
That's right.
waiting in the office.
Right,
We just
right.
started chit-chatting,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
we had to wait about 2 hours. We learned a lot about each other
Yes,
that
we
time.
did. Yes, we
So,
did.
yeah.
Yes,
So-
we did. Yeah.
You have the best of both worlds because you can be
Pretty
a man,
much.
you can be a man or a woman. So you've got like this
Sure.
double-sized closet full of clothes, I'm sure, which are all fabulous. And you can go
It
into
is
any
all about the clothes.
you can go into any store and buy any outfit you want because it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
No.
You can wear it no matter what.
Right.
Right.
And that is
Right.
fucking fabulous.
It is. It is.
You
Yeah.
can have there are some really fabulous men's shoes out there, but women can't get away with wearing those. You can.
I can. But I don't like wearing high heels because they really, really hurt my feet. But
Yeah, they do ours
Can
too.
we talk a little bit? You had
Go on,
mentioned,
yeah.
and we haven't gone into the story. You mentioned on the
Okay.
way over, you said, you noticed my hair's shorter than it was before.
Yeah.
And you said
Had a
you went.
meltdown.
Yeah, tell us about your meltdown
Had-
a few months ago.
back in October of 12, I had a super meltdown, and David Bell was coming on me really hard, and he's the old person, but we fight with each other, and
David Bell is your male.
right,
Your
my
old
male
male self.
self,
Right.
exactly. And he comes in on me all the time and says, "What the hell are you doing?" And I said, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" And then anyway, I fight with him constantly, and then I try. I finally give in. I said, "All right, I'll give it a try." I went on the Triple X Church show, and I was David Bell. I broke down. I shaved my head, and I says, "All right, I'm gonna be the guy. I don't care." And I put the guy clothes on, and but the clothes don't make the person,
Right.
and so many people think it does. So the cross dressers, they'll put the wig, the makeup, and stuff, and then they're in town right now. They're in town for a week.
The cross-dressers?
It's called Diva Las Vegas.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends in that too. Anyway, they go out and they have a good time. They have a great time. They're women for the week or whatever it is. Then they can take the clothes off, and then they're back to who they were.
Right.
And
right.
they can live with that a lot better than someone that gets the operation and then they're stuck. They can't just take the clothes off. Then they look at them and say, "Oh, I made a mistake."
Wow.
But there are regrets. I went to a couple seminars on transgender regrets, and there's quite a few out there. A lot of people. Most transgender people don't want the world to know they're transgender.
Right.
They want to just try to live their life as straight and narrow, and no one will ever know.
Well, not necessarily
Yeah.
straight, but
Well,
So we have a question in chat, and it's since you got the operation to because of the sex addiction.
no,
Not to
no,
cure.
no. See, that's the whole thing. I didn't deliberately go get the operation to cure the sex addiction.
Right, not to
See,
cure
that's
it.
the mystery.
It was because of the addiction.
I thought I was going to
was
wake
a-
up and have a sex addiction as a woman.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know I was going to be
I
cured.
thought you were just going to be
Right,
fucking
and then-
women left and right.
And then when I started doing, the vibrators and the dildos and all the other stuff, and never had another climax ever again, then came to my mind that that's it.
Right.
I'm
So for those of you in chat who don't quite understand, the sex addiction is what drove Dee
right.
to get the gender change.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't to stop the addiction. It was
Right. Enhance it.
to keep going and keep going
It
was
because
the
it
next step.
escalates.
It backfired on me.
The addiction keeps escalating, and then
Sure.
because of the operation,
Right.
you lost the sex addiction.
Well, just like in the beginning of the book when I got married for the first time, I got married so I wouldn't have to go to Vietnam. I says, I was this close to going to Vietnam. They says, "Oh, if you're married and have 2 kids, you don't go." I said, "Okay, the plans are going, and then I get married, have the kids and everything. The draft goes off. Here I am stuck with a wife I didn't love and 2 kids I didn't want.
At a very young age.
At a
too.
very young
Like,
age
what,
of 17.
17? Oh, wow.
17.
That's very
That's
young.
why I said, how cold is it in Canada?
Let's talk about your kids. Have they gone through this with you at all? Do they know anything
No.
about
Oh, they
it?
know. Oh, sure they do.
Do they
Sure.
talk to you still? Do they shun you?
Well, we talk a little on Facebook, maybe once a year. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
That's about it. They don't want nothing to do with it. But you really got to read this book to really get the whole story.
Right.
I mean, this book is so involved. I mean, it's a page turner. You won't put the book down basically until you read the whole thing.
I did
And it's
that.
just
I read
like-
it all in one day.
You go, whoa, it's.
Well, and something I learned in the book is his relationship with his children broke down way before
oh yeah,
the whole sex
Oh, I see.
change and all that
sure.
because of money and
Oh, yeah,
inheritance
yeah.
and
But,
yeah. So that broke down long before you decided to tell them I'm going to be a woman.
Right.
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 Wow. Fascinating. Utterly fascinating.
It is. It's like I said, it's a story that's never been told before, and most likely never will again.
Now they're working on a documentary of the book, correct? Right
Correct,
now,
correct.
so hopefully that'll be out soon.
The
huh?
documentary should be out by the end of summer.
Awesome.
Who will
Yeah.
be putting it out?
Well, it's a Foster Boom and Company. We don't have the actual. The other one was Laughing Dog
So it'll be
Productions.
where they sell it to.
Oh
like
yeah,
it'll
yeah.
be
We're hoping
TLC or
it'll be on. We're hoping it's going to be on like
HBO or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. We're
Right.
hoping. So
Right.
we don't know for sure, but
Get it to Sundance.
yeah, Sundance would be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Oh,
would be
yeah.
great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How fun! It just amazes me, because I like. I have and like I said, I do a lot of reading and studying about
See?
transgender. I've watched the surgery online,
Sure.
so and I feel bad for people that I can't imagine like living my life and thinking like my body doesn't fit with what's in my brain.
Well, that's the way I am
That's
now.
how you are now. Your body
Right.
doesn't
So
fit
I
your
actually
brain.
I actually am transgender now, and to the extreme to where I should have just left it all alone. But
Now let me ask you this:
messed
if
with
you
it.
were still taking the female hormones,
Right.
do you think you would feel more like a female than a man?
I don't know. All female hormones are sexual hormones and stuff.
Right.
Probably.
I'm just
But the risks are too high, especially at my age. I'm almost 60, and blood clots and heart attacks and strokes and all this stuff. Who needs it? I'm unique. Just let me be myself, and people can.
Now, what did they call you at the OBGYN the other day?
Oh, like a morphodite.
Yeah, hermaphrodite. The
inter-
OBGYN
They call it intersex now.
intersex.
Yeah. See, what it is I have all the female genitalia, but I don't have the ovaries and the
Right.
Uterus and
uterus
stuff,
and the
yeah.
cervix and all that. But I still have the prostate, so there's the man part of me. And because they tunnel through the prostate, something to do with the bladder dropping if you don't, and all this stuff. So you mess with yourself, you're going to pay the price. you
So
know?
you have to go visit an OBGYN.
Yeah,
They
not
brought in
anymore.
Oh,
They
not
brought
anymore.
in 4 people when she went into the OBGYN.
Yeah, they had 2 guys and 2 gals in there, and even the chief of surgery was in there, and he says no, you're a guy, but you have female genitalia, so I asked the question. I said, well, what actually am I? He said that's when he said the intersex.
INTER or INNER? Inner or inter?
I'm not real sure,
Okay.
but I know they used to call them hermaphrodites. I can't say it right, but
Hermaphrodite.
Hermaphrodites,
but
yeah.
now they call it intersex,
Oh.
and that means you have both.
Yeah.
And so basically that's it.
It's probably inter then.
Yeah, and there's some
INTER.
babies that are born with both sexes, and
Right.
the parent has to
Right.
choose what they want the child to be.
Yeah.
You chose to make yourself
Right,
intersex.
right. Hey, when I did all this stuff, I was at the height of my sex life, and I was just like, what do I do next? I got all these tattoos, and what can I do? What's a body modification? And all kinds of stuff was going through my mind, racing 100 miles an hour, and I'll just get a sex change and see what that life is all about. And here I am.
It's actually INTER is what it is.
Intersex?
Yeah. That's what I figured it was.
Intersex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Hold up the book. Where can people find this book?
You can go right on Amazon.com,
Can you
or you can actually go to any bookstore and purchase the book. They'll order it for you. It's called Dee-Vided, Deevided, and that's the actual size, which is a coffee table size, and we made it big like that. Very easy reading.
It's an easy read. It's a quick read.
Double
It's
spaced, I
interesting.
saw.
Yeah.
I already have people asking for the second book.
Nice.
Easy
I mean,
on the eye.
I told you I want the X-rated version.
Do you plan on doing any signings or anything like that around town?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Whenever something comes big, definitely be doing the signing.
Where can people go to keep up with their schedule to see where you might be or
They can find me on Facebook.
Facebook?
They can go to Diamond Dee Bell and befriend me.
That's 3 different
and-
words. That's 3 different words.
Yes.
Yeah,
Diamond.
you can hold it up so they can-
D-E-E Bell, B-E-L-L.
On the bottom, Diamond Dee Bell.
Yeah,
Right.
Everything is under that. I'm the author, and you can Facebook me, and I keep everything updated on Facebook. So, yeah.
All right. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with our clubs, and then maybe we'll have some more questions for Dee.
You got it.
You're listening to Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasAllNetRadio.com, the final frontier of free speech. We will be right back.